Transferring Simsol from one computer to another, it's a pretty simple process. It's something that you may have to do from time to time if you're upgrading from an old computer to a new. In this video, we'll go through those steps, which will involve copying the Simsol folder to an external drive, moving the Simsol folder to the new computer, running the latest update, and then transferring the license from the old machine to the new. So before we get started, what you will need to complete this process would be some sort of external media device. That could be a little USB flash drive, an actual external hard drive, which is nice because all you have to do is plug them in and they're available right away. So to get started, we'll consider this computer that we're looking at now, computer 1, the one that has Simsol currently installed, and we're going to move it from this machine to the new machine. So I'm currently on Windows 7. The first thing I want to do is go to Windows Explorer, and I can do that just by going to my computer. I'm going to open that up and locate the local disk C. That's where we install Simsol. Once I'm on the C drive, I'll look for the Simsol folder, and that's what I want to grab. So I'm going to right-click and copy that. And over here to the left in my list of available drives, I've got a removable disk G. That would be the USB drive I've currently got plugged in. You'll just want to make sure you've got enough space on this drive. Typically, if you've got a couple gigs available, you should be fine, depending on how long you've been using Simsol, how many claim files you've got. But once I'm in this G drive or this media drive, I'm going to go ahead and right-click and select Paste and let that copy commence. Okay, so we've got the Simsol folder copied to the USB drive. Now we just need to take that drive, plug it into the new machine, and get the Simsol folder copied to the C drive of that new machine. Okay, so I'll just come over here to the left and right-click on that G drive and select the eject option to remove it. So now we'll jump over to computer 2 and get everything set up over there. Okay, so here we are now on computer 2. We want to now plug in that USB drive that has the Simsol folder on it and locate that. So I'm going to go to my computer. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the drive. I'll select this option here to open that folder. Okay, and there is the Simsol folder that currently resides on that USB drive. I'm going to right-click and I'm going to right-click, copy that folder, and I'm going to paste it on the C drive of my new computer. So I'll right-click and select Paste. I'll let that copy take place here. Okay, so the Simsol folder is done copying. That's good. Now we can go ahead and remove this USB drive. We don't need that here anymore. I'm going to go ahead and right-click and eject that. Okay, so go back to my C drive here and confirm there is my Simsol folder. Okay, so the next step is I need to get on the web and go to my Simsol account. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up a web browser here and sign into my Simsol. Go ahead and log in here. And where I'll need to go is to the Downloads page. So I'll go ahead and click Downloads. And the download I'll be looking for will be the most current upgrade, not the full install, but the upgrade version. At the time of this video, it happens to be version 5.2. So I'm going to go ahead and start the download of that. Now while that's downloading, I can go over to the licenses section, and this is the current license that I'm using. This is the license that is tied to my installation of Simsol, and my license does know what machine my Simsol was originally licensed to. So we'll take care of that here in just a moment after we get the update installed. So the update I can see is done down here. I'm going to go ahead and run the update now that I've downloaded it. Go ahead and select Run here. Splash screen will come up. I'll click Install. Some notes here letting me know this is an upgrade. I'll go ahead and continue to install. And one of the first screens of the install is the license agreement. I'll go ahead and accept that and hit Next. Click OK. So now the installation is searching for a previous version of Simsol, which what it should do is find that Simsol folder we just copied to the local C drive. Once it finds it, it'll start to upgrade that version. Now, if the version of Simsol that we copied over is the same version that you're currently running the update for, it won't harm anything. In fact, what it'll do is it'll make that version active by installing some necessary components that we need for the program to run. By simply copying the folder to this machine, that's not enough to get Simsol to run. We need some of these necessary components, DLL files, and executables for the program to run correctly. So that's what the update will do in this example. Okay, so the installation did find my copy of Simsol. It's currently updating that version that we moved over from computer 1. Okay, the update is complete. I'll go ahead and click Finish. I'll close this window and I'll minimize my web browser for just a second. So we should have a Simsol icon now on the new machine. I will go ahead and double click to open that. This screen is just finalizing the update. Okay, so now we are on this registration screen, which it says up here at the top, unauthorized. So what that means is the license that's currently registered to this copy of Simsol does know that it should be on a different machine, which would be computer 1. On this screen, I can see my Simsol information, which would be my username, password, and the current license activation code on this particular copy of Simsol. So all I need to do at this point is bring up my Simsol account once again, and I'll compare the license ID. So if I minimize this and look at the license ID here, you'll see it's the one that ends with 12DE, 12DE over here. So on the license detail page, I just need to come down to the bottom, and you'll see there's a section here at the bottom that tells me exactly what to do in the event of moving Simsol from one computer to another. And all that it boils down to is I simply need to temporarily disconnect the license by clicking this button here. I'll get a confirmation, click OK. And by doing so, the license is sent back to a pending state, so it's not active at the moment. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll just go back to the registration screen for Simsol and simply click Submit. By clicking Submit, Simsol checks the license status, notices that it's pending, and then acquires the license for this copy of Simsol on this machine. If I go up to the Help menu and go to System Unlock, I can see that I'm currently using the same license code and my expiration date has not changed at all. It's the same as it was when I was over on computer 1. Now if I'm a corporate user, I could just go to the corporate option over here, click that, and register my software over the phone if I needed to. So that's a data transfer. It's a pretty easy process. It can be a little scary when you start talking about moving data back and forth from machine to machine. So if you do want to contact support, they'll be more than happy to help you with this process. But if you give it a shot, you'll find that everything is pretty straightforward.